However, so on we go, and today I'm delighted to say I have a really special guest on the show. And I'll just give you a clue by saying, in my opinion, he's probably the best dressed man in the Rosses. He's probably equally well known both sides of the Atlantic, and he's lived through events most of us will probably only read about in our history books. So that's all I'm going to tell you for now. Anyway, he'll be joining me very shortly, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. Brought you back. Well, I forgot to mention, actually, I should have mentioned, next weekend is also the first birthday of the Daniel Centre, which has been going from strength to strength. And speaking of birthdays, I wanted to give best wishes to Connie Mulhern as well, who recently hit the big 90.
Yeah.
And that brings me very nicely to my special guest here today, Mr. Packie Walsh of Burton Port, who not long ago reached the magical age of 90 years young as well. Fáilte wrote this, ja. Welcome, Packie.
Yes, thank you.
How are you doing this morning?
Good. Can't complain.
I was wondering, were you outside when I was introducing you a while ago when I called you the best dressed man in the Rosses? Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
Did you not? Well, I think you are. I wish we were on television now, because if they could see the style of you.
Yeah.
Smartest dresser in the Rosses, definitely. So, you've been back here now quite a while.
I'm back here since 77.
Back since 77. After how long in America?
20 years.
20 years. Oh, so you're back as long as you were away at this stage.
Yeah.
So you've been, and no problem settling back in. I see you've settled in very nicely. I see you're performing official openings and things nowadays.
Yeah.
Any engagements lined up?
No, don't line up. Don't line up.
Packie's available for engagements.
Yeah.
So you're back in there. Tell us anyway a bit about your early days before you went to America.
Before I went to America.
Were you a Burton Port man or were you a Dunlow man?
I was a Dunlow man. I was born round the corner here.
Over on the Carnmore Road?
Yeah, on the Carnmore Road.
You?
I was born. That's where I was born.
Yeah. And was were the family in business or?
My father had a garage business.
Oh, that was the garage that used to be beside.
That's the garage that was beside the house.
Beside the house. Oh, yeah. I see.
Yeah. The garage was built at the same time as the house was built.
Oh, I see. Now that was Denny Green's garage when we came to Dunlow.
It was Denny Green's.
So you were in the garage business.
I sold to Denny Green.
Oh, I see. Indeed, yeah. So tell us a bit about being a young fella. Now, you were 90, so my maths tells me you were born in 1922.
In October 22. 3rd of October 22 I was born.
And what was Dunlow like in those days?
It was completely different to what it is now, really, because I could start at the top of the town and go down one side and up the other side.
Yeah.
And I could name everybody that was in the houses.
Oh, of course, yeah, sure, I remember that too. Now I have trouble naming people on my own street.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. But it was... There was somebody living in every house.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
Most of the houses now are all taken over as businesses.
Yeah. Well, of course, I suppose some of that is kind of good, at least, that there's some kind of commerce going on. But the social life isn't the same, is it?
Oh, and social life isn't the same at all, because you could go into any house, sort of style.
Yeah. Were you any good at the music? Did you do a lot of Arniel?
Huh?
Did you have much Arniel? You know, going around
visiting? Arniel, yeah. Arniel was something that everybody done.
Just came naturally, really.
Yeah, it came naturally, really and truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And were you involved in music or anything like that?
No, I wasn't involved in music. It was too young to be involved. I was too young to be involved in music. But
where'd you go to school?
I went to school down the Key Road.
Oh, really? And was that school there at the time?
Huh?
Was that school there?
That school,
that
was the school. That school, this school now, it's used for boxing now. But
that's right. But used for a lot of youth projects. Actually, putting it to really good use.
But
and so, what did you work at then when you left school? Here.
When I left school, I went to Summerhill College in Sligo.
In Sligo, oh right.
Yeah, Summerhill College, and I spent 5 years in Summerhill College, and after Summerhill College, I thought I was going to be a priest.
Did you?
I did. I spent a year in Delgan Park
Oh.
after leaving Somerhill College, but it wasn't for me. I left after a year, and
so where did you go? Could you come back to work in the family business? I believe you did a bit of taxiing.
I came back to, my father died in 1943.
I see.
And I took over myself and a brother of mine took over the business.
Yeah.
And my brother died. He died at 68, and he didn't want any of the garage business at all. He wasn't interested in it.
Well, doesn't that happen sometimes, when a family is in a business and they presume to hand it on to somebody and it just doesn't do it for them, you know?
Yeah.
But I believe you were always involved with cars. Did you do a bit of taxiing?
Oh, yeah.
You were a taxi man before, I believe.
I was taxiing for 7 years.
Uh-huh.
About 7 years.
You had a very interesting trip down through Gibara one evening.
Yeah. At the particular evening, I had just done 3 weeks solid now. I'm talking about every night in the week.
24/7, as they say nowadays.
24/7, yeah.
Yeah.
I had done the 3 weeks going to dances every night. Every night.
Wow.
For
There
3
was a
weeks.
dance every night of the week.
Yeah, for 3 weeks.
Those were the days.
Honest to God, really, it's really. We used to spend our time in the billiard room, in the billiard room where what do you call it? Has a fish and chip shop now.
Up in Lenties?
No, and Dunlow, on the street in Dunlow.
Oh, Doherty's?
Doherty's, yeah.
Right, okay. Mm.
Yeah.
So anyway, this night you're coming from, after a 3-week shift,
Well,
you're coming down with your load from where?
Oh, as I say, we spent 3 weeks solid going to dances every night.
Yeah.
Every night.
Yeah.
And we'd be in the billiard room above the where the chip shop is now, and when when we would be in the billiard room, somebody would come in and say that there's a dance in Milford, there's a dance in...
My God, you went that far away.
Yeah. And we spent most of our time in the billiard room, really and truly.
And now, Packie, you're telling all the stories on yourself now. And there you are with the Pioneer pin, for those of you, of course, who can't see
Well,
it.
the billiard room...
I know, it was a harmless
nobody
pastime.
drinking.
I know, yeah. So anyway, this night you're coming down from Lenties, or you're coming down
I was
the
coming
Lenties
down
Road.
from Killybegs. I was coming down from Killybegs, and I can still remember passing the Cope in Letcher.
Right.
And I drove on for, I'd say, a good 2 miles. Mm-hmm. Passing the lake.
Not a great road. Mm-hmm.
You know, and I drove on until I decided there's a turn here.
Yeah.
I made the turn too soon, and I finished in the bog.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I finished in the bog.
And so what, you had a bus full of ladies, I suppose?
But I had mostly ladies,
dear.
so very few men in the bus, in the load at all. It was nearly all ladies I had. And
Consternation broke out.
Huh?
Did consternation break out?
Yeah.
I can
Well,
imagine.
they
Panic?
They didn't panic at all, really and truly. They got out of the car and waited along the road, and there was fish lorries passing.
All right.
And the ladies all got on the fish lorries from Letcher down to Dunlow.
That sounds very funny, coming from a dance, probably in
Yeah.
your Sunday best, and you end up coming home in a fish lorry.
Yeah.
I'd say the parents weren't too impressed.
But
And I believe, sorry to interrupt you there, but you were telling me there before the programme, I hadn't realised just what a big thing Kerrytown was. I believe Kerrytown kept you busy.
Kerrytown was big in those years.
Incredible.
That was in the early 40s. Early 40s. The Blessed Virgin was reported to have been seen in Kerrytown, and
word spread far and wide by all accounts.
I can remember one particular night when there was a load coming from Dublin and on the train to Fintown.
Wow.
Yeah, I was asked to get 20 cars to meet them in Fintown.
Would you believe it?
Do you believe it is right?
20 cars coming from
Dublin. Dublin, yeah.
To visit the shrine.
It was very strong in Dublin at the time that Our Lady had appeared in Kerrytown, and
how long did that last, Packie?
It lasted for about 3 or 4 years, I would say. Maybe more.
Actually, I hear more about it in recent years.
It's still...
Oh, yes, yeah.
Still going, yeah.
And there are people who are very, very devout.
That's right,
followers, believers.
Oh, yeah, it was...
So you were always, this clarifies a lot for me, actually. You were always really going to be, somebody in the driving seat, so to speak. Because I've often wondered, actually, in recent years when I'd see you around, particularly actually 2 winters ago, when we were all terrified to walk, never mind drive, and I'd see you coming out of the chapel or something. I was so impressed. But now I understand why, because actually you had all the driving experience and were to get even more when you went to America.
That's right, yeah.
So before
that was before I went to America. I worked in the garage for about 7 years. In July 1950, we got married, myself and Mary Ellen.
That's what I was going to ask. Where did you meet?
Yeah, Mary Ellen lived on the main street in Dunlow, and I was in Carnmore Road.
Ah, sure, you were 2 locals. Girl next door, nearly.
Pretty nearly next door, is right.
Yeah.
But as I say, we were married in July, on the 7th of July.
1950.
1950.
Mm-hmm.
And on the 1st of November 1950, I was told she had TB.
Oh dear, what a blow.
And TB at that time was a death sentence.
Yeah, yeah.
It really was a death sentence.
Yeah.
I remember quite well. She was. I'd put her into the hospital in Killybegs, and I just couldn't get along with the doctor. I couldn't get along with him.
Yeah.
He couldn't tell you the truth.
He didn't have a good bedside manner or communication skills.
No, he didn't. He didn't. He told me when Mary Ellen was in Killybegs, he told me that she's on the list for Castlereagh.
Castlereagh, the place that
Castlereagh at that time was built as
a sanatorium.
Where the jail is now is built as a sanatorium, and
And so how long would she have been sick? When did you find that she was well enough to go to America?
Well, she spent 4 years.
Oh, wow.
In 1950 now that we were married, and she, as I say, in November 1950, I was told she had TB, and at that time TB was a death sentence.
But look, when you think about it, weren't you blessed to have such a long, and I know you lost Mary Ellen a couple of years ago, but in those circumstances, to have had such a long, happy life, weren't you really blessed?
That's the way I look at it, really and
exactly.
truly. We were blessed to have the time when we were lucky that the cure for TB that time came out in November of that year.
You were just at the right time.
And
still a very tough blow for newlyweds.
It
You
was.
know, it's a testament to both of you to have.
It was a tough
come
blow
through that.
when she went, and I used to spend my time up and down to Killybegs to be with her, you know. But after about a year, I sold the garage, and I moved to Dublin, and I bought a shop in.
An enterprising young man, weren't you?
I bought a shop in Amiens Street.
You did. That was a big move for a Donegal man. A young chap from Dunlow to go and buy a shop in Dublin, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was.
But you know what? We're going to take a break to give you a chance to have a drink of water, Packie,
Okay.
and to gather our thoughts, and we'll come back. And for the folks listening, we're going to have another bit of music. I hope you like what I've chosen. I kind of tried to pick something that might be of your era. So now we're going to have a track from Louis Armstrong. Who better? What a Wonderful World. I think that's probably very apt, Packie, isn't it? It is a wonderful world.
Yeah.
This is Jim McGuinness, and you are listening to Ross's Radio.
Welcome back, everyone. And we had an extra track there, Cotton Eye Joe. Now, I have, the reason I got delayed is because we have best wishes coming in here to Packie from all over the place. We have a message. Hi, Uncle Packie. We're enjoying the stories and listening to you from the O'Tooles in Dublin. Maureen, Mick, Kiva and Aisling. We also have Teresa, your sister Teresa, listening to you in Navan. We have family listening in Roscommon, and we had a call from your brother, I think it was Danny. Didn't announce himself. So hello to everyone, and you're doing a great job, and they're delighted to be listening to you on the radio. Now, it's great to be popular, isn't it? So we were talking earlier about the days in Dunlow, and you know, you were kind of fell into the car business, and it kind of went on to become your thing in life, driving and vehicles. So tell us anyway. You, I know you became quite an intrepid New York driver in your day, but was that your first job when you went to America?
No, the first job I had when I went to America was in construction.
Oh, right.
And I arrived on a Monday, and I think it was on Wednesday. My brother-in-law, Charlie Carr.
Oh, he was there already?
Yeah, was there. He was there. He was there. He had married my sister, and he was there in New York already, and he worked for Paddy Boyle, who was in charge of all the construction work in Grand Central Station.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, and
so where did you get the calling then to your eventual career? Paddy
told Charlie to tell me to come in to work. Now,
that was it?
I had never done construction work in my life.
Those were the days when a job was easy to come by.
Yeah.
But so you got the calling to go back to driving, didn't you?
Well, I worked for Paddy Boyle for about eight months, and we were making great money.
I was about to say, I'd say that was very tempting.
Yeah, it was very tempting, really and truly. But Paddy Boyle kept saying to me, "You shouldn't be at this work."
Too much of a gentleman.
So I kept my ear out and listening. I knew I wanted a driving job of any kind. And
it was in your blood, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I got a position in Kerry transportation, and
so you drove. I believe you drove all over New York.
I did, yeah. How I drove all over New York, surely. I drove all over the state of the
whole state,
the
not
whole
just
state,
the city.
yeah. Because as well as I wound up doing a run to the airport from the terminal in New York. But before that, I used to do runs all over the state, driving cruise going to
airline cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice little earner.
And
So you must have. So you were coming and going to the airport all the time.
But no, I wasn't going to. No, in latter years it was just out and into the airport. But before that, it would be going to different parts of the state. Just
right. Okay. So you know New York State like the back of your hand. It's a beautiful state, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Especially
a nice
upstate,
state,
as they call it.
Yeah.
Just, I can't imagine, somebody now just zipping around all the, 54th and 59th streets or whatever in New York.
Yeah.
So easily. And tell us, what was life like when you went to America? Was it just full of opportunity, or was it still kind of hard for an immigrant?
You needed to know somebody.
Yeah, you had to have someone to go to.
Yeah, somebody to go to. Yeah, that's really what happened. You had to have somebody there ahead of you just to break
point you in the right direction. Yeah,
break the ice for you. But
I'd say so. There would have been probably big groups of Donegal or Dunlow people.
Yeah.
I'd say the crack was good, was it?
A lot of Dunlow people. I can remember driving people that are at home now. The Tuxedo, up to the Tuxedo was a great place for the Irish.
What was that, ballroom or something?
Ballroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's where they all hung out.
Yeah, the Tuxedo was a great place to go, really and truly. You'd meet a lot of people from home.
I always think, that people, when they're away, they congregate together more.
Yeah, they do more.
Maybe socialise and
that's right. Yeah,
I don't know, just maybe do more for each other as well when they're a small
that's
group.
right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And did you like life in America, or were you dying to come home always?
Well, I'd say that for the 20 years that we spent in America, I'd say that we did made at least 10 trips home.
Oh, yeah, you were lucky.
Yeah,
because a lot went, and I suppose they had a lot of opportunities, but there was always the niggling thing that money was scarce.
Well,
at the time.
I actually, when we went to America, we went for 3 or 4 years to see would the climate suit Mary Ellen.
Okay.
That was our reason for going to America. But as well as that, I when my sister married Charlie Carr, Charlie was living in America, and Charlie was taking her out to America, and when he was taking her to America, I was helping her with the paperwork. For going to America.
Immigration, yeah.
Yeah, and while I was helping her with the paperwork, I discovered that my father, God rest him, had taken
citizenship.
No? He had taken out citizenship.
For heaven's sake!
While he was in America, he was living out. He was working out in Dakota.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. And
for goodness sake! So you were actually you were a citizen, ready made.
Everybody in the family were entitled to citizenship,
and you didn't even know that.
No.
And the rest, the hoops that people go through to get citizenship.
When I applied for citizenship, they told me that I would get citizenship, provided I was able to show them in 3 months that I would get citizenship inside the 3 months.
Right.
And it had to be inside the 3 months.
I'm sure you had no problem with that.
Well, I had to sell the shop.
Oh, you were still here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, getcha. So
yes.
it was, okay, yeah, that was a big decision, all right.
Yeah, I had to sell the shop and I sold the shop and I.
So you beat a hasty exit out of Ireland. Yeah.
Really and truly, because I had spent about I'd spent about nearly 7 years in New York. I would say.
And where did you spend the rest of the 20 years?
But with Kerry Transportation, I got driving the bus and
Oh, I see, yeah.
yeah.
But did you live in New York?
Oh, I lived in Rockaway.
Rockaway. Oh, okay. Your name very familiar to me.
Yeah, it is.
Funny how all these names where
Yeah.
families live, are so
Yeah,
familiar.
yeah. Oh, Rockaway was a great hangout for the people from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the tuxedo.
I actually-
And the tuxedo was where they got together.
Tuxedo
Great
was
name.
Tuxedo was in oh God, I forget the
Yeah,
name,
oh, well,
the
not to
address.
worry.
I forget the address. but-
You're excused. I think you're
Yeah.
entitled to. Been a
But-
while back. So anyway, since you've been back, and I know you lost Mary Ellen very sadly a number of years ago, but
Yeah.
given I suppose, as you said, the death sentence that you had so many years ago,
Yeah.
weren't you both so blessed to have enjoyed retirement back here?
Oh, we retired. We enjoyed our retirement really and truly because when we retired, I retired on the day I was 55.
Wow. I thought retirement was 70 back in, 20 years ago.
No, 50. The day I was 55, I retired.
And you've been a gentleman ever since? Wow. Not many have that privilege.
Yeah, I retired at 55, and my sister Mary had a shop in Burtonport, and
Oh, Mary, well known, of course, Mary Campbell.
yeah, and I used to help out in the shop,
Okay, yeah.
and
Of course, Mary's husband had died very young, hadn't he?
yeah.
Hugh.
Oh, Hugh Campbell. Mary was married to Hugh Campbell in Burtonport, and Hugh died young, and
So you upped and decamped to Burtonport, became a Burtonport man.
yeah, I became a Burtonport.
Changed your allegiance, Packie.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
But you settled in terribly well there, didn't you, when you came back? You're
Oh yeah, yeah.
pillar of the community there now.
We settled in. We settled in first of all, living with Mary
Yeah,
and Burtonport,
yeah.
and after about a year or so, there was two old buildings that Mary was decided to fix them up, and she fixed them up very well, very and truly. So we happened to be home on a visit, and I said, when they're finished, I'll take the inside house.
Yeah.
And
And so you did.
that's where I'm still living.
And are you still enjoying your retirement, tell me?
Yeah.
You seem, as I've said at the beginning, you do the honorary engagements now, like opening festivals. Should we tell them that you're available for any events where you might be required? Do you get called on as one of the elder citizens to do things?
Oh, I got called on a couple of times to open the Burtonport Festival and things like that.
And I noticed too, I was saying there about how I was always so impressed with just how intrepid. I think American drivers tend to be like that. But I believe you actually took your car over as well when you came back from the US. I believe that was quite a talking point.
It was strange. I was taking my furniture, and it was arranged with the man that was taking the furniture to take the furniture, and he says to me, what about your car? I says, I'm going to sell it. On second thoughts, I said, what would it cost me to take the car over? Well, if you took it to England and ferry it across, he says, it'll be your best bet. He says, because if taking it from to Dublin. Dublin wasn't a port of call.
Yeah. Because it would have gone by ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so, sorry, was it one of those real classic Plymouth or one of those things?
It was an American
They were
car.
huge, right?
It was a big American car at the time.
And you had that in Burtonport.
Yeah.
That must have been quite the thing.
So it was quite the
Would
thing.
have been quite hard to get around Gibara in one of those long American cars.
That wasn't that big now. It was. This car's as big on the road now here.
Really, because that was the thing that always struck us.
Yeah.
It just seemed to stick out way at the front and, way at the back. But I'd say it was part of the image, all right. Everybody wanted to know who was driving it. And so now you get chauffeured around, don't you?
Huh?
Now you get chauffeured.
Chauffeured.
We should say a special thanks to Deirdre and Terence, who very kindly chauffeured you in here today.
Yeah.
Do you miss that? Do you miss not driving?
I miss not driving. I can remember the day that the doctor asked me to give it up. And I was surprised, because just the year before, he asked me to go to Ballandine
In County Mayo.
And do a test.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So
I went that far to do a test.
I went that.
Yeah.
He says that's the only place on the western of Donegal that you could do the test.
Yeah.
So I went to there and did the test. And it was a lady that gave me the test. She says to me, "Why did you want to do the test?" I said I didn't want to do the test. I was asked to do the test.
Who wants to do a test?
So she says, You didn't need a test at all. She says, I said, I drove buses in New York. I says,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Isn't it nice just to be chauffeured for a change all the same? Unfair, but nice. Life's like that, isn't it?
That is, yeah.
Oh, do you know, Packie, it's been a real pleasure having you here. Now, we can't let you go. Sure. The phones are hopping here with good wishes for you. And there's, well done, Packie. No bother to you from your home help.
Oh,
yeah. Home helps, chauffeurs, taxis. Yeah. That's how a gentleman is supposed to live out his retirement. And now we have another one here from best wishes to Packie from your niece, Francine and Barry.
Oh, in Dublin, yeah.
In Dublin, obviously.
Yeah,
you see, they're listening all over, Packie.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to hear just about the olden times. Well, I think we've kind of covered everything. Yeah. And it's just been a real pleasure, Packie, talking to you. And thank you so much. And no bother to you coming in at short notice. Anyway, we're going to have a little piece of music now just to give you a chance to get yourself together there. Okay. And once again, thanks a lot. And maybe we would come back again sometime for another wee chat.
Maybe.
Okay, now we're going to have an old Irish song from Clannad, Shularoon. Back everyone, and again more requests coming in there for Packie. I have another one saying they were delighted listening to him from Emer and John in Navan. So hope you all enjoyed that trip down memory lane. So back to a couple more announcements. I have a notice in here of a meeting in Burtonport on the 8th of May at 8 p.m.